Yes, good afternoon students. So in this video we discuss temperature measurement. So first of all, in general we can say temperature is degree of hotness or coldness, and this temperature is very important gradient, very important element. It will affect on various elements. So that is why this temperature is very much essential and important. So we can define this temperature in other way also. An indication of intensity of molecular kinetic energy within a system is a fundamental property similar to that of mass, length and time, and hence it is difficult to define temperature. Okay, and the temperature cannot be measured using basic standards through direct comparison. It can only be determined through some standardized calibrated device. Change in temperature of substance causes by variety of effects. We can say, so the physical change, chemical change, physical dimensional change, electrical property change, and change in radiating ability. So based on this, one can measure the temperature. Okay. Now in that only, in the simple thermometer you know already, so that one can measure the temperature, low temperature, that is a human temperature can be measured by using thermometer only. One more instrument, very important instrument, thermocouple. So just the meaning of thermocouple. Thermocouple, how the thermocouple is defined. Okay, when two dissimilar metals, just you see, metal 1, metal 2, when two dissimilar metals are joined at a junction, say this junction is T, and their free end at A and B, when it's joined, then in between that I, that is electromagnetic force will occur. You can say EMF. So that EMF induced, that itself is thermocouple. Two dissimilar metals are may join at particular point, so that is junction, and these two are metals at a point. When this condition, when this circuit occurs, in between that electromotive force is excited. So this excited electromotive force itself is EMF. Okay, that is I. This is called thermocouple, and then some laws are there. Just you see, just a minute. Laws of thermocouple. Two laws are available. So one law is intermediate metals and another law is intermediate temperature. So just you see, metal A and this complete metal B. So this inserted metal C at the metal B. Same thing in the second law, metal A, metal B, but the third metal is introduced here at the temperature junction. At the metal junction, at the temperature junction. So one law is intermediate metal. So here it is at the metal junction, and another one temperature, intermediate temperature. So that is at the temperature the third metal is introduced. So then what will happen? Just to see, it states that is intermediate metals. It states that the insertion of an intermediate metal into a thermocouple circuit will not affect the net EMF provided in two junctions introduced by the third metal are at identical temperatures. So just to see, if the third metal C is introduced and the new junctions R and S, are held at temperature T3. So that T3 is not shown, but here it is T3 it is, and this is T1, T2, T3. Okay, T3. The EMF of circuit will remain unchanged. This permits the junction of measuring device or a circuit without affecting temperature measurement of thermocouple circuit. Okay, next. The third metal is introduced at either measuring or reference junction as long as P1 and P2 are maintained at the same temperature T1. P1 and P2 are same at T1. The net EMF of circuit will not be altered. This permits the use of joining metals such as solder used in fabricating the thermocouples. In addition, the thermocouple may be embedded directly into the surface or interior of the conductor without affecting the thermocouple's functioning, you can say. Okay, then two conditions, just a minute. So here somewhere, that you see, yes. So what is Seebeck effect and Peltier effect? Seebeck effect is when two dissimilar metals are joined together, an electromotive force, so that is EMF, will exist between the 2 points at junctions, which is primarily a function of junction temperature. So this phenomena is called Seebeck effect. That is Seebeck effect. Then Peltier effect means if two metals are connected to an external circuit in such a way that, so you can see, so this Peltier effect is this one. If this side also, if you make another joint, that is Seebeck effect. Okay. Now this sketch is for Peltier effect. Just to see. If two metals are connected to an external circuit in such a way that current is drawn, the EMF may be altered slightly, owing a phenomena is called Peltier effect. So this Peltier effect we can see. So here this side also one more junction is considered, that is Seebeck effect. That is the only change. So just come next. So very important aspect is optical pyrometer. Optical pyrometer. Optical pyrometer uses a method. Optical pyrometer. So just before that, this is eyepiece. This is just a line diagram. Eyepiece, a red film, lamp. Sometimes electrical lamp is used. So this is absorption filter, and this is temperature source. So here we can make use of temperature measurement. Source of temperature, this is source, and from eyepiece one can measure the temperature. So for that, just to see, optical pyrometers are used for matching the basis of their operation. A reference temperature is provided in the form of an electrically heated filament, and a measure of temperature is obtained by optically comparing the visual radiation from the filament with that from unknown source in principle. The radiation from one of the source is adjusted to match with the other source are two methods. one source with another source having two methods. Just to see that methods, the current through the filament may be controlled electrically with the help of resistance adjustment, or the radiation received by the pyrometer from the unknown source may be adjusted optically by means of some absorbing devices. A variable intensity of optical pyrometer is positioned towards the unknown temperature such that the objective lens is focuses the source in a plane of the lamp or lamp filament. The eyepiece is then adjusted such that the filament and the source appear superimposed. If the filament may be appear either hotter, colder, so the filament is completely dark, then it is heated, or you can say filament high temperature, and if it is very transparent, then it is low temperature, and so you cannot observe that filament here, then correct filament current is not getting. So if it is hotter, it is completely dark. If it is not dark, if it is transparent, then it is its temperature is too low. That is the meaning. When the current passes through the filament is too low, the filament will emit the radiation of lesser intensity than that of source. It will thus appear dark against the black background. So that is why. So this type of pyrometers are more in use. So one more important radiation pyrometer is there. So just the same sketch we can use radiation pyrometer. Here the radiations will come from this line, one side radiation will come, and at sensor they will fall. So there those radiations are sensed, and after sensing the radiation will come on the display line. So like that radiation pyrometers are used whenever high temperature measurement is required and the temperature source is too much away from the observer, too much away, for example sun, and temperature is high temperature. Radiation pyrometer one can use to measure the temperature of sun. So only simple, the same sketch, only change. So the radiation will come and fall on that sensor. After that they will fall on, there also filament. After passing through the filament only they will sense it. That radiations will sense, and after that at last one can measure with using eyepiece. Okay, so then reverse procedure, this optical pyrometer and radiation pyrometer. So here in radiation also the source is here in radiation pyrometer. Suppose consider this is source, then from here the radiations will come and filament is there. After passing through the filament, a sensor, not here it is lamp. So in the radiation pyrometer, here it is sensor, and where it senses and at last display out, and that display can be measured by using eyepiece in case of radiation pyrometer. Same sketch, only small changes. So these two types of pyrometers are used, and these pyrometers are very much essential to measure the high temperature and the source is too away from the observer, and it is not possible to get the temperature by touch. So it is impossible to measure temperature. So for that, the radiation and optical pyrometers are more used. The radiation pyrometer uses the radiation from the sun and that sensed out, and that can be observed by an observer. So this is about temperature measurement. Okay. Thank you.